Hi everyone, Sue here. I felt really inspired to do a video on the keys to successful manifestation, explaining simply how science is now catching up with the very ancient principles that have been here for 6,000 years. And what it's doing is it's bringing together two great ways of knowing into a single wisdom, which can help us to become better people, creating a better world, not only for ourselves, but with the right intention and collective cooperation and collaboration for the greater good of all. For many, many years now, I've been sharing what I discovered and how I applied it in my own life, which enabled almost unrecognizable life transformation. But what I find really is exciting is that more and more people are waking up and realizing that they are not passive observers and powerless victims in our universe, but powerful co-creators. Because think about it, for years we've been conditioned to believe that we are powerless, that we are separate from the world, and it's a matter of working hard and hoping for the best. But we are reaching a time in history, I'm sure lots of you will agree with me, that more and more recognize that we are all connected and that we do need to come together in cooperation. Each of us with our own unique part to play, I really believe that, but not that we impose our will or control or manipulate our reality. I mean, that's not what this reality creation is all about. Every single one of us has so much power within us, every single one of us, to create great things in our own lives, to create a life we love. But I do see so many people often unaware and unconsciously not using the correct formula, for want of a better way of putting it. So, okay, let me explain what I'm trying to say here. What I find really exciting is that new studies are showing that the human heart is the strongest biological generator of electrical and magnetic fields in the human body. Our heart has the ability to generate the fields, the stuff our world is made of. So if you want to change the stuff of your reality, you have to change either the electrical field or the magnetic field. And there is a term for both, the Stark effect and the Zeeman effect. Our own science, physics, is telling us that, exactly that. And it's also telling us that when we have a feeling in our heart, we are actually creating the electrical and magnetic waves that change the quality of the atoms of our world. They literally interrupt the flow of time and space and rearrange the stuff. Hey, full of sophisticated language here, I know, but I have to keep it simple. The stuff this world is made of. So the bottom line for all of us, and this is what the ancient wisdom and traditions always said, is that we are invited to feel the feelings in our hearts for the things we would like to experience in our lives. And this is the key, as if they have already happened, rather than asking them to happen and coming from a place of lack or of need or of feeling powerless, which we've all done at times in our lives. I know I certainly have in my former life. And that's the subtle difference that makes all the difference. The 5,000-year-old texts, the Sanskrits, left us very clear instructions that when you would like to change your world or change your body, rather than feeling what you don't have, feel as if it has already happened, that it's already given. And I know that can be challenging sometimes. I talk a lot about this. It's not just our thoughts, it's the feelings associated with those thoughts. And I can truly appreciate how challenging it can be to feel joy, happiness, peace when things are going horribly wrong in your life. I mean, I've been there, believe me, I've been there. But how I dealt with it was when I was desperate. And this was long before I knew about the science that backs this up. I had to get back to basics and deliberately focus on all the things I had to be grateful for, however small they maybe felt at the time, and focused on the people I love. I remember reading somewhere that gratitude is the power cord to the universe. And when you get that feeling, that emotion of gratitude and love, as opposed to fear and desperation. But remember, either way, it's always working. Got to remember that we're always manifesting. But that feeling is creating the electrical and magnetic waves that speaks to the intelligent field of energy, that the matrix in our universe that underlies our physical reality. And as physics says, it's our outgoing signal is always matched by the incoming. Or even more simply put, or very simply put, and I'm always saying this to people I'm helping, remember, the way you feel in every moment is what you're creating for your future. That's a powerful statement. This is another reason why people don't achieve successful and rewarding manifestations. It's because they do their affirmations, visualizations, meditations, etc., in the morning, and the rest of the day get caught up in the drama and the stress and frustrations of the day. And of course, their predominant energy they are emitting is one of stress and frustration, which of course creates, often unconsciously, more things to stress about and be frustrated with. Some people are taught to do hundreds of affirmations every day, but an affirmation without emotion is an empty thought. It's an empty thought with no energy. And this is why they don't get the results. They lose interest, they become disempowered and say this stuff again doesn't work. And that's because they've only got half of the formula really for getting the results. This intelligent field of energy I'm talking about is a non-conventional field of energy. It's not like electricity, and it's only relatively in recent times that scientists, physicists have had widespread access to the technology and equipment to measure this stuff. And thoughts are important, but the new studies are showing that even though the human brain does create electrical and magnetic fields, they are relatively weak compared to the heart. And this is interesting. Apparently the heart is about 100 times stronger electrically than the human brain, but the heart is about 5,000 times stronger magnetically than the brain. So if we're going to create an electrical or magnetic field that affects our reality, that we get real change, it can be one done with a thought, but it is so much more difficult. It is much easier to feel the feeling with our hearts. This gives power to our thoughts, and it really is a hugely powerful internal technology actually that we all have. The thought is the image of the quantum possibility, and in the realm of all possibilities, everything already exists. The perfect relationship, the perfect job, the perfect health, your perfect house, whatever you want to wish to manifest, and to bring it into this world and breathe life into that possibility. The power of human emotion, our love for that possibility, or fear, got to be love and fear, brings that into our reality. So, the key to successful manifestation of what you do desire is to practice cultivating that feeling, that vision and belief that it's already given, even if it hasn't quite yet reached you in your today physical experience. And I promise you that it's worth putting in the effort required in the beginning. And yes, it does take practice. And to be honest, if I can do it, anyone can. And as I'm always banging on about too, is that our point of power is in the now, in this moment. And with the transformational energies in our universe accelerating, if we can thrive and be grateful for the good in our life right now, and that be our predominant focus, life comes to us rather than us having to chase life. And do you know what? I really hope you find that helpful. I know it can be challenging, but it's really worth putting the effort into it, knowing that the way we feel in every moment is what we're creating. Anyway, that's it for now, I think. Lots of love to everyone.